Welcome to Late to the Show. I'm your host, Prophet74. Today we're going to have a different angle because I'm fixing my little area here. So I don't have enough room. So we're going to talk and bring something new. It's a new freaking monitor, right? It's for, you can use it for two different things, all right? So either work related or gaming. And you know, this show is about gaming, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Wide monitor. So we're going to look at it. We're going to take a look at it and open it up right here in front of you guys so you guys can take a look at it, exactly what you get when you purchase this. And the reason I brought this camera here is because it has a wider angle so you guys can see more of this and less of this. So let's get started. Big old freaking knife here. Without scratching it, be careful, because you don't want to scratch the monitor. Just the tape, just the tape, just the tape. That's all we want, just the tape. So open this part. Put this on the side. Put this one here. Move the chair to the back. What do you get when you get in here? What do you get when you buy something like this? Let's see what beautiful device you get when you order something like this. I'm gonna put this on the side for now without dropping it. Everything's on the bottom. Everything's pretty much on the bottom. Power cord, you get a power cord, the stand, the neck, HDMI, and we're gonna put this on the side for now. See what you get when you buy something like this. See how wide it is, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the system itself, give you some more specs on it. So here's this part right here. This is pretty much this thin little stand that we have in here, which is not bad. Now I get to sit down. Now let's bring in the neck. And the neck is what we need. Neck, it's simple. Neck has two-way inputs right here, so you can just pretty much, this is kind of set in the back. It just sinks. So basically what you do is you pretty much just angle it, two screws underneath the bottom of it, if you guys see that. So put it in here. The two screws, you could tie them up by hand, but then I recommend you by Phillips, all right? So get a Phillips or a flathead, either way, and then you can just tie them up. I'm just gonna screw them in by hand real quick. Make sure it's nice and stable, because it's, you know, you paid a lot of money for something like this. You don't want to damage something like this. So stable enough. We got that part. We'll move. Now let's get the piece of resistance. Look how wide it is. Damn, it's a little heavy. It's a pretty heavy machine, but looks beautiful. So let's go ahead and take this off. Let's take this off. This off too. Clamps in here. Pretty much just sits in the back. This kind of locks in here. And there we go. That's locked in there. Flip it around. Look how wide it is compared to a 23-inch. The aspects of this thing sucker's pretty wide, if you guys see it. It's exactly from point to point. It's about 34 inches from point to point. Length of it, it's about 32 inches. Width, let's check out the width, complete width. It's about 14.5 inches. So you sacrifice a lot for the wideness. So what is this for? What are you gonna ask? What do you get this for? What is it for? I'm gonna talk a little bit about it, what you can get and you can use it for in a bit. So let's go into details first. What I'm reading, if I'm correct, on the paper, resolution 3440 by 1440 at 50 megahertz, all right? HDMI 1. Now HDMI 2, it says it goes to 60 megahertz. Same settings, 34 by 40 and 14 by 40 at 60 megahertz, second HDMI display. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. Maximum resolution is going to be 34 by 40 and then 14 by 40. It could go up to 75 megahertz on this one. Now, there's a couple of hacks out there that people are doing to actually make it work faster. So there is a thing that you could control the megahertz, but depends. You might lose quality of it, it might slag on you, it might overheat, you might damage your system. So please consult your manual before you do anything like that. Now, temperatures, it could get up to 50 Fahrenheit, up to 104. So it gets pretty hot in this system, right? All right, here we go. So it's ready to mount too. This, you could actually mount it. It comes with the ready to mount inputs in here in the back. It's really simple. Now let's take a look at some of the simple. Let's bring it something simple here where you guys can see a little bit more. And I'm gonna tilt this. I don't want to break the thing. I'm gonna tilt it a little bit so you guys can see the HDMI 1, HDMI 2, and it has the DP in, which is right there for the display port. It has the audio, and it also has a DC, which is you're going to connect your connection in there. Other than that, that's only for a lock the center between the audio and the power. That's for locking it. So there's a little lock in there. You could actually, not that many inputs, only 3 of them, you know, a little bit disappointing. There's also another lock here on the side of it. Now let's take a look at the controllers, the controls of the monitors. If I could find, the controller of the monitors. So Samsung took a step of doing this to other monitors. It's pretty much just a knob here, up and down, and simple left and right, and changing settings and clicking here. That's pretty much the norm for all the Samsungs. They have one knob. Even their TVs, they're coming like this. So it's one of those things that I don't like. I like the old-fashioned buttons, so I could click on different inputs. And here you could click on the wrong input all the time. I do that all the time. So especially when you're not looking and you're doing it from the other side, you're gonna have to play with it. So it's a little thing that you might get used to it. Now let's flip it around. Let's turn it around. And if you guys see, there's a lot of heat for the evaporation of the heat in here. The cooling area here goes all the way into the back. So the only cases in here, the only empty spot is where the inputs go in here. This is the Samsung. It's a wide angle. It's pretty long and decent. Now on the bottom of the panel, there's plenty of gaps. They could probably eliminate half of it. I've seen it actually on the Samsungs where they get a little bit more, they trim more of this corner, right, and give you more of the aspect. On this case, it's still 14 inches width right here, which I'm not happy with it, because I prefer something much larger, maybe up to 17 inches. I would like to have something like that. That's just my wish. That's what I always say, just my wish. As you can see, the camera itself, it shows you a wide angle of what I'm looking at right now. What you want to do, dog? So right now I'm looking at, and this is pretty much what you see in here. Let me bring the camera a little closer. When you're watching YouTube on this TV, on this monitor, actually, it's just one of those things that it's gonna leave a big gap in here and another big gap in here. Overall, the system is really long. I mean, if you want a full screen, I'm gonna show you a full screen, what happens when you do a full screen. This is a full screen and it's gonna leave you a gap on both angles, on both sides. All right, so that's pretty much how it's gonna look if you're gonna watch YouTube. This is on a full screen. We're gonna divide some of the stuff. So you can divide your windows this way and partition them. Now, so if you guys notice, the cinema itself is not even filled in completely, but we have to go in there and change the setting under PUBG when you first start. So right now I have PUBG open. If you guys can see it, it's taking it's leaving a big gap when it starts out, because I haven't set up the settings yet. And I do have a 1080 Ti running on this system itself, so there shouldn't be a problem with it. And we'll go ahead and skip all this, and there we go. So if you guys can notice, it takes on the whole screen. And let's go ahead and start the game just to test it out. I had no audio. The monitor has no audio whatsoever. Frame rate, it's really good. It's really steady. If you guys can see, I mean, pixelations, you know, you can't really see the shininess of it. This is a 4K camera I'm using right now, so just to give you an idea of how it's working. And so we're starting a match at 17 seconds and see how it goes. Let me see my logo. Can you guys see the logo? Oh, good. It's a little blurry there, but other than that, the autofocus is really good. Pixelation on it, it's It's really steady. It's keeping it really good. You guys can see the lettering. And now I'm gonna show you a wider angle, and this is me gonna try to see if I can play right now or move her a little bit, but in reality I'm just gonna show you the quality of the video. Guys, no mic. I had no mic, so he's probably talking right now. Ooh, look at that. Really good graphics on this one. And we're gonna take a look at the airplane on the map. This is my hands right here, so it's freaking long, it's wide. It's one of the things I like about it. I'm gonna try to angle it, see if you guys can see a little bit more on the top. Don't know where we're gonna land on. We're just gonna jump. I can't shoot with this gun. I can't shoot. I'm playing with a different keyboard right now, so it's freaking hard to shoot right now. So this guy, ooh. Let's see if we. Ooh, good stuff. Good stuff. He saved my ass. Let's take a look at the settings. So when we click on them, if you guys notice, it shows you in the bottom. There's either a switch monitor, displays, and PIP is like if you have two connections, two different computers on two different, it'll divide the whole system into two parts. So we don't, let's take a look. See, it says PIP on. We're gonna turn it on, and it's gonna give us half of the mode in one side and then the other one on the other side. So I'm gonna show you the half and the divided. I don't have another system, so if you guys notice, there's another one here, and I'm gonna turn it off. That it's gonna give you, let's get out of here. Let's put this option on here. We're gonna see if we could change this menu. This is the menu that gives you picture-in-picture. PIP is, like I said, on-screen display, systems. Systems is free sync, eco saving plus, so energy saving, display, source detection automatically, information about the machine, what kind of machine. We're at 34 by 40 and 14 by 40, which is pretty neat for its system, you know. But like I hear a little hissing on it on the monitor. Other than that, I think it's quiet. If it's gonna go behind somewhere and you're not gonna listen to it unless you have an echo room, because I was walking around, I heard something in the back of it. You could customize the brightness, you could customize contrast, sharpness, color, and then this one, Samsung Magic Upscale. I don't know what is that, so let's change one. Let's see what happens. Nothing happens. I didn't see any difference on it. Didn't make a difference at all. I don't know what that means, but it's just those things that we picture-in-picture. We could do the picture-in-picture. Those things might be like picture within picture or movie mode or game mode, but in reality, there's not that much you can see on this one. It's a widescreen. It gives you a good advantage. When you're playing PUBG, I was able to see these guys over here in the corner, and I'm pretty sure my other players can only see half of it. So I was able to see a player right before I came in my screen. I was able to kill them because of that. And in fact, when I was walking right next to him, he couldn't see me, and I was in a third person. So I must have been cutting off on his screen, but he was on my screen. So great for an advantage if you're going to play PUBG on this one. If you're in a third-person games, you're going to be able to take advantage of it, especially if you're playing multiple player against other people. Great system. I like it so far. I like it, but it's not my style. It's pretty big. The curve-wise, there's nothing really curved about it. If you guys see the angle, there's no curve at all. I thought it was a curved monitor, but it's not. It's a flat monitor. The only curvedness I see is in the back, in this part right here. But other than that, great system. I like it. If you guys like what you see, make sure you guys subscribe to link to the show. I'm your host, Prophet74, and we are going to be out.